everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show, and this is my review for Far Cry 6. Now, I have been a massive fan of the Far Cry franchise, all the way from 3 up. I tried to play 2, couldn't really get into 1, because it's so old and it was a bit clunky. Couldn't really get into 2 either, I don't know, I just really couldn't vibe with 2. But I've been playing it since Far Cry 3. I've played all of them. I've played 3, 4, 5, Primal, and now Far Cry 6. And I love the franchise, especially since 3, because the franchise is kind of like one of those things. It's known for, at least as far as I'm concerned, is for its over the top and entertaining villains, and it's one-man and the feeling that in the one-man army feeling that it allows you to have, especially over the years, because clearly Far Cry 3 is really the pinnacle. It's really the top one. It's the one that kind of set the bar high. I was disappointed in Far Cry 4, though I still enjoyed myself. I really wasn't the biggest fan of Primal, and I absolutely had a blast with Far Cry 5. So, like, all that being said, I was so excited for this, especially when you hear that they're getting Giancarlo Esposito to come and play the villain Anton, the president of the dictatorship, the dictator of Yara. I can't believe it's called Yaran, or is it Yaran? I can't remember. But that's the name of the country that this takes place in, is Yaran, which is clearly Cuba. I mean, they talk about Miami, they talk about how they can just get on a boat and they can escape and get into Florida. So this is clearly Cuba, but you know, they're not gonna do that. But this is clearly probably Cuba. But I digress. This game's a blast. Honestly, I don't know if it's better than 3 or 5. It's on par with 5. It's either better than 5 or on par with 5. It's a blast of a game. They changed a lot of the systems. First of all, let's get this out of the way. Giancarlo Esposito's Anton is great. Problem is, he's not in it a lot, at least as far as I've seen. Like, he's not in it a ton. Like, he's in it. Like, he's in it, like, enough that you know his presence. And there's pictures of him all over the place. He's constantly, over the intercoms in tiny little towns and whatnot, or over the radio. So his presence is always there, but he's not literally there all the time. It's kind of like, you know, he's not literally there as often. He's probably, like, Joseph Seed was probably there just a tad bit more than he was, but overall, he's still there enough to give this awesome performance. You really believe him as this mad dictator. He's not evil, so to speak. He's just driven, and he sees something and he really wants it. I don't want to get into the spoilers of the ending, because there are 3 endings to this one, but just put it this way, he's a driven man. He's the type of dude, he's the I'm doing this horrible thing for a right reason kind of a guy. And your character name is Dani, and Dani can be a man or a woman, doesn't matter which one, because the story is the same. And Dani is by far the most expressionable character in the Far Cry franchise so far. Obviously, in Far Cry 5, your character didn't speak at all. He was just a faceless, kind of nameless deputy. In Far Cry 4, you had AJ, but AJ talked, but like he had the most lame dialogue. Really, he was just like he like a lot of AJ's dialogue was kind of lame. Just put it that way. He was just like a bland character who just had responses to things. And the other one, I can't remember the guy name. Was it Ethan? I can't remember in Far Cry 3. But either way, whoever Ethan was just some white kid who freaking, you know, some white rich kid who happened to come here and just like get a tattoo and whatnot. So while Ethan is fun, there's not too much to Ethan. That is not the case with Dani. Dani is a fully functional, fully rounded character with history and backstory and friends, and even how he joins Libertad, which is the rebellion against Castillo. Even how he joins them is through friends, and he has his own opinions. He has his own ideas, and you know, depending on which one you pick, they have their own. You know, they're fully fledged characters. I mean, hell, sometimes they'll be singing songs on the radio going down the road. They're fully fledged characters with their own backstory, with their own thing going on, which is in line with like AJ, because AJ in Far Cry 4 also had a backstory and there was a reason he was there and whatnot. But the difference is Dani's more entertaining. He feels more like an actual human being than AJ did. So that already puts it over the top. And of course, you got a bunch of new characters, a bunch of new people you meet. At the top of the list for me is El Tigre, a former revolutionary, a legendary revolutionary brought back into a new revolution. And like that, like there's just this fun things. There's like all of these characters are, and all of them have something fun about them and interesting about them. And you know, just like seeing the beginning sparks of a revolution and seeing how dirty and the decisions that need to be made, while simultaneously it is completely over the top. Now, Far Cry 5 introduced like a system, like an amigo system, like, you know, a companion system, like, you know, having someone tag along with you with that list of different, you know, people you can have with you. They kind of got rid of that, and now they have like this amigo system, which are these animal companions you can have with you. The first one being a fucking alligator. No, crocodile. Yeah, is it an alligator or a crocodile? I guess crocodile. Let's go crocodile. A crocodile who you can sick on people, little dogs, and there's all kinds of little animals you can get. They also kind of retooled the actual layout, because in the other Far Cry games, and basically all of them, when you upgraded yourself, you upgraded attributes, how quickly you could disarm something, how give you the ability to unlock stuff, give you more ammo and guns, you know, give you the flight suit, give you this, and like that was what the other Far Cry game was like. Most Far Cry games have in them is that's what you're using your points on, is to unlock being able to do this, being able to do that. This one doesn't do that. It gets rid of all that and kind of almost like you unlock stuff as you level up. It's not something you just have to level up. It's not something you can just like, you know, just save up like tiny little skill points to use. It's like, no, you just have to level up, and then you unlock stuff. You unlock the flight suit. You unlock being able to just drop out of the sky in a location and use the flight suit and parachute. You unlock the parachute. You unlock these things. You unlock having the ability to upgrade certain weapons. They took away. Really, there's no upgrades to be done to your actual character other than your gear, because like because you got different clothes, you can do different things and give you different attributes and whatnot. But the big thing in this is the fucking what's the word did he call it? The oh man, I wish I remember the name of it. It's like it's these jetpack things you get that just like these crazy guerrilla warfare weapons that are just look like meshed together, just mishmash shit to make these insane weapons. Like you got this one that's like a pack on your back that just shoots rockets out and they just fall down. You got ones that like set like a shoot and self-detonate afterwards. There are so many of them. One that shoots off and gives off an electric shock that knocks out all the technology. Like there's so many of these little Excremo or something like that. These backpacks, and like it's crazy, and and like, they're so weird and they're so unique, and honestly you can have fun just using those weapons as well. And like I said, and the story of this revolution it's honestly Far Cry 6 is Far Cry 4 done better. Or done right, if that's what you want to say. It's just so fun, it's just so good. Like I said, I'm having such a blast playing this game. And honestly, I'm not sure. Like I don't know if it's better than 3. It's been a while since I've played 3, so maybe I need to go back in time and play 3, and maybe I'll come back and tell you guys if I think it's better than 3 or not. But I can tell you one thing: Far Cry 6 is a blast of a game. It's a fun game. You can get lost in the world. You can get lost doing side missions, interacting with all the characters. Now, I will say I wish that there is more to be done with this franchise. I feel like, you know, they need to push it a little further. They could push the RPG aspect a little bit further. They did kind of mix it up with the system a bit, because in other Far Cry games, when there was no health bar, people have health bars in this one. So there is a health bar for characters now, and that's something they probably brought back from New Dawn, because New Dawn, they had health bars in it, and that was something that wasn't in other Far Cry games, but it's in this. They got little bars at the top of enemies' heads and whatnot. And like I said, it's different. It's different because like even like you don't do the thing anymore. Like in the old Far Cry, in Far Cry 4 and 3, we had to go to the on top of something and then you'd unlock an area that you could see. It's not like that. It's like Far Cry 5 and how the game starts and you can just go places. You know, you can go anywhere. Honestly, the game the game suggests you go a certain direction, but really you could go anywhere. You can go anywhere on the map if you wanted to. It's just probably smart to start here in this location and then move over there. But you can go anywhere. As soon as the game starts, you can go anywhere. Hell, there's a secret ending at the beginning of the game that I'm not going to spoil for you, but you know it when you see it. It's a secret ending. And like I said, I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. All these characters, these fun little companions, these fun little missions, the revolution, and you know, I wish they would have played up the RPG aspect of it a little bit more. I wish there would have been a little bit more options and options for you. Like, I feel like if this game was more Mass Effect-y in terms of being able to choose, make decisions, that it would just really take this entire franchise to another level. You know, like love interest and like just alternate. I mean, there are alternate, you know, endings, but like it's just how you play it to get the alternate ending. But I'm sure I've only played through once, so we'll see. Maybe I'll play through again and have a totally different opinion. But anyways, I give Far Cry 6 a 9 out of 10. It was well worth the money. I've gotten a shit ton of enjoyment out of it. Man, I can't wait to see if when Far Cry 7's coming out, and whenever they decide to do that. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.